What's the dumbest advice someone ever gave you in the MMA business? Like, what's one piece you're just like, that's so wrong. I'm not doing that.
Oh, man, that's hard. One was take the first UFC offer, like when I was younger and they're like, you get that first offer and as somebody who's young and the whole goal is to get to the UFC, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna take it. And all the coaches, not all the coaches, but I had several coaches, all my teammates were like pushing for me to take it. And it was like a one fight contract against Antonina Shevchenko way back when on a 3-day notice. I wouldn't have made weight. I wouldn't have stayed in the UFC, all this. And I was like only 3-0 or something like that in Invicta. And yeah, so didn't listen to that. Didn't listen to it for the next 2 offers I got. And then I finally had a good opportunity during COVID that was like, all right, finally a 4-fight, contract where I'm not going up to 135, which is nice. But yeah, I'd say just jumping ahead too fast, and people pushing me to do that and my internal voice wanting to do that, but common sense ruling out, which was nice.
That's pretty brave because you never know, right? Like maybe you lose your next fight and they don't come calling again. And it's very alluring, right? Going to the UFC, the spotlight, the pay, just the like Reebok money back then was more than most purses on the regional scene. So,
Exactly.
no, that's high maturity to say no to that.
Well, I have to credit my dad with a lot of that. My dad's always been kind of like a mental coach, I guess you'd say. And he was like, kind of, it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, but you don't need to go in there and literally not give yourself a chance at success, And I was so young. I was like 19 when I got that offer. And then I was 20 when I got the next one. I got a couple when I was 20 and 21. It was like, I've got plenty of time. I need to be smart about this. And I eventually got in the UFC when I was 22. And I think I made the right decision to wait. The only one that I really debated doing, it was a week after I fought Pearl Gonzalez at Invicta. And it was the next weekend. And I was a little banged up and bruised up. And they offered me Macy Chasen at 135. And I was like, oh, I'm going to take it, and it was a 4-fight contract and I was so like ready to take it. And everybody was like, yeah, do it. And that one was really close. And I ended up saying no to it. And Shannon Young ended up stepping up and taking it. And I remember watching her fight Macy and being like, dang, I should have taken it.